Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is PJ or TeamAmerica, and welcome to my heroic Duels Shaman guide. So, Shaman in the latest patch got access to a new hero power called Stormcatcher, which is a passive hero power that makes it so you cannot be overloaded, which brings a lot of cards that used to never see play into the fold. So basically, our starting deck runs just a ton of cards with overload. You got Lava Burst and Feral Spirit, which usually never see play. And then you've also got Earth Elemental. Doomhammer, the treasure I'm using, is Invoke the Void. There's also another one called Stormcatcher. So that what's good about this deck is you can have very powerful turns your first few games. The issue with this deck is it doesn't have Shaman can't generate a lot of value, and you just run out of cards. So you need to rely on your buckets and your passive treasures and your active treasures in order to have a chance at getting enough value to keep the games going in the later rounds. So I consider it to be a tier 2 or tier 3 class because of that. It can be almost unstoppable in the first few rounds, though. And if you get Plaguebringer double time, I think it can be one of the strongest classes, but it relies on the passives and the buckets too much, I feel. So, going back, if you're new to Duels, how it works is you build your deck, and then you queue up in the first game. You have 20 health, and it goes up in increments of 5 up to 40 health. After the first and fifth game, you get access to a passive hero power. And after your first 8 or 9 games, you get to choose from 3 buckets of cards to add to your deck.
You can always withdraw from the competition, Professor.
We're going up against Mage, so we probably need to pressure them. Destructor Fireheart's one of our best cards. Feral Spirit's almost always good. I think we just keep Feral Spirit, try and get maybe a Note Taker or something. We'll see. Guidance is nice on turn 1. You just always take both cards. I don't have a deck tracker up.
Job's done.
Oh, it says explode!
Okay, we just... I think we still just Feral Spirit. Oh, that is tough. I want this to be able to go face. Can do this in case of something like Ross. I really need to be able to attack with my face soon.
What makes something real?
Oh wow. Is that really, really, really bad for us? As long as my face isn't frozen, I think I'm good. Because next turn I can go Diligent Note Taker, Storm Strike, Lightning Bloom, Storm Strike. I do 8 damage and attack. It all depends on this guy. This is actually super tough. I have no idea which one of those he chose.
Here's another test.
I don't want him to heal.
Here's another
Okay.
test.
Okay. I can get him to 1.
You serve me now.
But
You fight me, you get burned.
trying to think of a way to survive. Okay. We're just gonna lifesteal.
Here's another test. Here's another test.
Get him down. And then hopefully Storm Strike Lava Burst is enough. He shouldn't be able to freeze our face. Alright.
Here's another test. Here's another test.
That was a terrifying high roll from Janda. But we got through it. But him being able to heal would have been absolutely terrifying. So we don't really have a ton of minions for recycling to be great. And this is only after you play a Discover card, so I think it would work when you play Instructor Fireheart, but not each time. So since we do have some big minions, I think we take the Rocket Backpack. Serpent Shrine Portal is good. Yeah. And then Marsh Spawn should also be good. Like, anything that gives us more gas. Like, so, at some point you might need to take drop, but I think it's too early to go for that. So, this seems like a good bucket. So yeah, so the left one, the Staking the Claim, that's almost never the choice. But sometimes it can be. But it's very rare. And then recycling are more for, I think recycling is best for Bomb Warrior, Death Rattle Hunter, and Token Druid. But all of those probably also have options that they prefer. Oh, yeah, and then after... Not actually, you also sometimes get access to active treasures. You get access to like there's two tiers of passive and active treasures. The tier one active treasures generally don't impact your deck too much, but the tier two active treasures that you get after 7 games, I believe, is they're basically win conditions. So the game, your deck, like your game plan to win will change with your deck as your run progresses. I think this is good. Like you can coin Serpent Shrine Portal into Marsh Spawn. I mean, I can also coin Storm Strike if I need to. Okay, so generally, even with Shaman, your goal is to get to 3 wins, because at 3 wins you get access to the second passive, and that can just completely change everything about your run. So his hero power is whenever he shuffles soul fragments into his deck, he summons a flame imp. I can actually just play this and save my coin. And I can just Marsh Spawn for free. Coin Earth Elemental. Wow. It's not having a great time. Evolving Missile seems better than Hacks.
Can't get away.
This deck playing no cards the first 3 turns is wrong. Not sure about letting this take 4 damage. I'll save the spell burst on it. He's probably dead anyway. He had a very unfortunate hand.
An amusing mistake.
At least you can see his hero power in action.
I'm out.
But yeah, so it looks like we're just running people over and that the deck is invincible. But once people have more than 25 health, it can become much more difficult. We do actually use weapons, so... Is Lore Keeper good in this deck? I think it might be okay. Because there will be a point where I want to just be drawing my expensive stuff. And that will be like turn 6. The sphere seems awful. None of these buckets seem great. But the biggest problem with Shaman is running out of stuff. And we missed on Plaguebringer as our first passive, which Plaguebringer makes it so your spells cost 2 less, but they overload you for 1. But we can't overload, so it just makes it so all our spells cost 2 less. I think this is okay. You have to be careful about taking the draw bucket too early because it gives you weak cards. But it also helps you not run out of stuff. And like Lorekeeper will make it so I'm drawing my Invoke the Void right away, which I think has a lot of value. And the other buckets were pretty slow. Like Alec here is just crazy expensive. Onyx Mage Scribe is a really slow card. Although, so I would say it was between the first bucket and the middle bucket. Because I mean, with Rush, Onyx might be playable. Yeah, so if you guys enjoy the guides, make sure you like and subscribe. I've been uploading runs every day. I'm working on getting guides for most of the best decks, and then I work my way to the not best decks. Alright, we're going second.
Versus Willow.
We have a Marsh Spawn, which is nice.
Hope you don't mind. I'm
I'll
winning
probably
this
ditch the
whole
Molten
thing.
Blast
You can
at
always
least.
the headmaster wouldn't let
We can keep
competition
the
this
no
afternoon
taker.
snack.
If you're wondering why that sounds weird, it's the voice lines are bugged with Shaman. So she says 2 voice lines at the start of every game. She says her voice line against Professor Slade, I believe, and then another one on top of it at the same time.
They're not trapped. They're my friends.
Okay. Probably coin Serpent Shrine and kill that.
Job's done.
Interesting. One of the new minions, it's dormant for 2 turns, spell burst, give your minions Divine Shield.
Pitiful mortal.
What I wanted to. I have it evolving. Spell damage. Take Maelstrom Portal. Kinda don't want this, but I want the Divine Shield. 3 Divine Shields is nice. That's funny, he heals before. So the draw happens, then you take the damage. so we're going to Lightning Storm and trade this in. Unfortunately, that's the entire turn, but I mean, it clears his board. I guess I could have Lightning Stormed first, and then maybe I would have Maelstrom Portaled.
They're not trapped. They're my friends.
They break so
Oh,
easily.
that's brutal.
We hunger for vengeance. More souls.
Oh, nope. That's just a face. We might have to invoke the Void next turn. We being efficient with the mana is
It's
relevant.
perfectly harmless to me.
I know a soul when I smell it. Outlaw round on it.
Job's done.
Like if one of these hit face, he's just dead. I do plan on making a guide for this hero power soon as well. Although it's relatively straightforward. School Spirit. Okay. That's alright, I guess.
Can they survive the ring of death?
I don't have an easy way through that.
Never be afraid of your inner power.
Devolving. Okay, that's good. That's very good for us. Go cheaper. And Fury seems good. And lethal. He's at 0. But the game can't end until I choose something. Okay, so we got 3 wins, which is our first goal. We don't get the second passive right away, but it means that even if we get 2 losses right now, we get to the second passive. So this is... I mean, we are a more aggressive deck. It's never supercharged. Between Enrage, which is 3 mana to give your hero 6 attack this turn, and Mind Apocalypse, both players draw 2 cards and a mana. I Enrage is good. It's just the things that make our deck weaker. Apocalypse does help. Our issue is we run out of cards. And we are a tempo-ish deck, so we need to get those cards quite quickly, typically. It's actually pretty funny when you diligent note tinker with it. And other decks, like a lot of other decks already have their own card draw. So like you're almost just like milling them a lot of the time, especially in the later games. I'm going to try my Apocalypse, but I could see it not being the best choice. Let's see. So we probably don't want to. So, quick lesson is the cards that you get offered are impacted by the cards you take. So like you can't control exactly what buckets you get, but you can control the odds. So because I took this bucket earlier, it's offering it to me again. So that's part of the issue or danger of taking it earlier. Zap is a terrible card, typically, but I think Thunderhead is alright. Crackle is alright. They're not great, but I just think the other buckets are too bad. Alright, we're 3-0, and we're doing alright. But again, like I said, like, if we, let's say we don't hit any of the second passives, our goal is, like, 5 wins with the run. It is, when you are Shaman, though, it's really important to get the wins the early wins. Because you will struggle mighty hard to get those wins later. Like with a mage, like going 3-2 usually isn't as devastating. Because if you hit your passives, you can just take people out. Starting this stream a little bit later today, so the queue times have been a little bit higher, unfortunately. But yeah, if you are new to Duels, I would say that it's just important to play and become familiar with everything. It's a lot of reading to start. You can try and Google some wikis that have that so you can see what all of the passives are. So you can have an idea of what you're looking for and what you're up against. A lot of people ask for a tier list of passives, but they're so deck dependent. It's more of learning what cards work with what buckets you've been offered.
You can always withdraw from the competition, Professor.
I think I can keep this because I can coin it out. Still gonna be tough though. The sphere might be of some use this game. Holy smokes, White Fire Axe, thank you so much for showing up. I haven't seen you for so long. I hope you're doing well. And Turn, thank you so much for giving out 10 subs. Congrats, Charlie K, Gert Shaw, Junsu, Zenark Dyer, Noodle Swoop, Ratsma, Flash, Axe, Leo. Glad you're doing well. I'll pass on Lightnings. is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I could have just typed a 1. Thank you so much.
I'm boss and furious!
So we can coin out. I could actually just say screw it and just. I could just fill up his entire hand.
Could you repeat that? I'll write that down.
I've made maybe a small mistake, but we'll see how it goes. What could go wrong? Yeah, I mean, we are loaded on cards now. And thank you so much, White Fire Axe. I'm working in the middle of a guide, but you care to share what's been going on?
Here for a good time.
Okay, so some AoE would probably help us. Oh yes, I might be doing a co-op where I teach Red some of the basics of Duels. Into the Void seems pretty good.
Shall we make a storm?
I think I'll just build the board up.
Do try to keep yourselves alive.
I mean, it's good that he uses this on my not invoke the void. So, I mean, there's something. So, he 100% could have played this last. Okay, so we might go Doomhammer Stormstrike next turn. Or I mean, we could even. I want to get the Doomhammer in, I think so, and get that going. Oh, so that's why he is going to be causing a lot of pain. Ouch.
Here for a good time.
I could go Instructor Fireheart to look for a Wind Fury.
Good time.
Never be afraid of your inner power.
Wind Fury. Or Lava Burst. Maybe I should have taken Runic Carvings there.
Hands-on experience.
Yeah, okay. I just had to double check there. I'm like, I only had 10 damage, right? Because I wasn't even sure then.
Don't have much time. Here's another test.
Hey, taunts were in trouble. I think I can handle anything else.
A fight calls me in. My blade be thirsty. Everyone, get in here!
Alright, no taunts.
Here's another test.
Alright, 4-0. Good start. That Brewster was a little scary. And that thing draws 2 cards. So these are good. The issue is that we can't overload, so this is an unplayable card. So I'm actually super torn, because it's literally unplayable. Because we can't get 11 mana. The other cards are very good. Like, I like a Flamewraith Faceless with Rush. Separate Shrine Portal is amazing. It's really good. Maybe not amazing. But it's just not playable, because we can't overload. I don't think I can take a literal brick in my hand. So I think I take Elemental Assault. I have 2 other cards I put in my starting deck, but they're just low value is the issue. But yeah, so this is the last game of me explaining my plays, and then I will go back in how I generally behave on stream, but the entire run will still be here. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. Just try to ask comments that don't require an essay in response, and I'll do my best to get to them. So, let's see. What second pass? I think it's... So, you're looking for Double Time or Emerald Goggles, probably, for the second passive. Khadgar's Scrying Orb would also be alright, I guess. Those would be the 3. And in that order, Double Time, Goggles, Khadgar's. Double Time makes it so the first spell you cast each turn, cast twice. Emerald Goggles makes it so the leftmost card in your hand costs 2 less, down to 1. And Khadgar's makes it so every spell costs 1 less.
Fireheart versus Slate. Oh, hey! Are you a new professor?
You can always withdraw from the competition, Professor.
Feral Spirit's okay, but we're going first, so I think we might need better. little tricky because I might need to actually just send the Note Taker out there. So this is a matchup where my Apocalypse won't be as useful.
Could you repeat that? Don't just right back.
Because his issue is also that he rips out of cards. Mine... not low roll. I mean, he coined out the egg, so... I think it was a reasonable response.
Don't distract me.
I'm not sure if I should have pulled Cultist there.
Shall we make a storm? I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Oh, he silences it. I actually forgot that was gonna happen.
If power is what you seek, knowledge is what I provide.
He'd actually do that.
It is wisdom you lack.
Do I just get the invoke the void out now? I think I do.
My best day on the job.
Job done.
We still gotta deal with these 7/7s. We've already seen a freezing trap. I can test for freezing trap.
Not my best day on the job.
I mean, he's gonna trade into and kill one. Just what he does with the other. Okay, he actually didn't trade. That seems insane.
Never be afraid of your inner power.
May not revolve. Okay.
Hands-on experience.
Setting this to 2 might signify,
Hands-on experience.
it might signify explosive. I guess I'll take something that I can play on the same turn. Something
Don't
else?
have much time.
Job done.
Yeah, setting it to 2 is like just incredibly dangerous, so.
Will be. Okay, fine. It wasn't that big.
This makes sense.
Not my best day on
So, the heads up, when Death Strider hits Bloated Python or Tonk, it will crash the game. So what you need to do is just... Well, what usually happens is if you just sit there, the game will do this.
Oh, I'm low on time.
It had to disconnect you and connect, you know. Yeah, so we're 5-0. I don't think we've been particularly lucky. We didn't get double time, but we got Emerald Goggles, which I think is clearly the pick here. You could argue maybe Book of Wonders, but Emerald Goggles should be good for us. And of all of these, it looks like we have to go Overload again. So this run might not go too much longer. But that is it for me of the guide part. So for the rest of the run, it'll be just like my streams. If you enjoyed, please be sure you like, subscribe, and comment with what you think. And thanks for watching. So how did you guys enjoy that? Also, Whitefire X, thank you so much. I really do hope you're doing well. I'm sorry I didn't get to chat with you much. I'm not sure if you're still here. 111 total subs, which is insane. But, I'm actually only 3 subs away from a new emote slot. 111, lucky number. I might actually just gift out 3 subs to make sure I hit that. Let me see, how many emotes am I replacing? Actually, I only get 5 subs the next 2 days, and I'm streaming every day. I'll probably eventually make sure that I hit that at some point. I also need ideas for emotes, chat. So people have given me the idea of a mold emote. But what are there any like Duels specific emotes I could do? Because I do have 3 emote slots, and I'm really close to the 4th. But I just need to know what kind of emotes I want. I got a question about Hunter Deck. Should I wait after? It's you can ask. It's so the guide where I'm not interacting with chat is for the first 5 games. But I will still put the rest of this on. But I might skip the queue times. You can ask Fuzzy Otter.
Are you trying to ruin my espionage?
You can
won't
always
go easy on
withdraw from
I
the
just like
competition,
imitators.
Professor.
This costs 1 mana. I don't know if I want it here though, because you don't want to play this super early. I think I ditched these cards. So this is okay-ish of a situation, maybe. Fire Shaper and double Battle Cry.
Let me work my magic.
Job's done.
Yeah, you don't need to make fake Fuegan install it. Just put in like Haunted Creeper and something else with Death Rattle. Yeah, I'm like not even sure what I should do about that because I do like them in the deck, but like by no means am I recommending for anybody to craft them. Oh yeah, Tonk and so I would probably put in Tonk and Haunted Creeper. Tonk and Belcher seems okay, but honestly the Death Rattle for Belcher is pretty terrible. And it's kind of all in to do this, because, well, I do get to Voracious Leader in like 4 turns.
Wanna go for a round?
Yeah, let's brawl! Yeah, let's brawl!
Here's another test.
It is wisdom you lack.
Here's another test.
Yeah, I'm just not as big a fan of the buckets you get when you run Tonk. Because you get the Tonk Maxima and something else bucket and a Alar bucket, and I just don't think that bucket's as good. Is the reason I stay away from Tonk. But I mean, like, you're just talking about optimizations at that point.
Here's another test.
Might actually want to keep my attacks. Candace will be terrifying. I'll attack once, just because it sets up lethal. With only 2 of the 7 attacks going face. I like how the Fire Shaper goes off almost before the cards are even in his hand.
Give me that. Look what I won.
What do I think of Totem Shaman? I don't think it's very good.
Here's another
you can see me go 12 wins with Totem Shaman on my YouTube. But I don't think it's very good. Probably Please No More. Especially with Polkelt. It's a little close. But if we want to get to 12 wins, it's almost always Please No More there. But I am super proud of my 12-win Totem Shaman run. That was hilarious. Well, so you imagine that Please No More is 3 cards that are 0 mana draw card. So, I don't know. If you have cards that you consider powerful in your deck, it makes it so that you're drawing your good cards more often by taking Please No More. So, unless the other bucket is a win condition that your deck needs, or it's just like, so like 3 Silverware Golems, I take over Please No More typically if I'm discard Warlock.
Fireheart versus Mozaki.
Spells be the greatest weapon of all. I
You can
won't
always
go easy on you.
withdraw from
I
the
just like
competition,
imitators.
Professor.
Seems like an okay start.
Oh, it says explode.
I guess I just play this anyway. No! Oh, that's just great. I need to play that on it eventually anyway. I mean, I still got 1 random spell, I guess. So it cost me. So it was actually like super similar to what would have happened.
Here's another test. Here's another test.
If it's Snake, I really don't want to attack. But it might not be Snake.
Job's done.
Okay, it's freezing. That's okay. I mean, it'll just cost 3 mana once it gets to the left side of my hand. I'm shocked he didn't want to get a mana worm there. So well, the MMR, I'm pretty sure it's impacted by the MMR of the players you play against. But basically, if you're like in the top 1,000 ish, like if the top person with MMR is at like 8,000 and you're at like 7,000, you basically won't gain MMR unless you get like 6 to 7 wins. And even then, it's minuscule, but you get almost 100 for the higher amount. If you get 12, you can get almost 100.
Here's another test. Here's another test.
Hmm. It's always Locust, right? Yeah, it's Locust. Yeah, those are like the best treasures. Well, so Book of the Dead and maybe Ancient Reflections instead of Pharos Blade. These are pretty good. I cycle. And Teemo's not great. Evolve is okay.
Fireheart versus Mozaki.
Spells be the greatest weapon of all. I
You can
won't
always
go easy on you.
withdraw from the competition, Professor.
So this for 5 mana is really good. But man, we're doing nothing up until it. But I think it might be good enough to just go for it.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell. We hunger for vengeance. More.
Okay, so if he has a counter spell, we can get it out. Or I can just locus him right now.
This powder'll be crunchy. Buy one, get one Another test.
I don't think he can do 39 to me. He knows he's dead, right? Oh wait, what if it's ice block?
Job done.
Well, so it's usually 7 mana. So we just Lightning Storm then Molten Blast next turn. You can only get Ice Block from buckets. You can't generate it or create it in any way. Well, if it's in your deck already and you have Infinite Arcane, you could, but that would be it. Still, like, these cards are okay, but... like, we increase our odds of drawing Locusts by not putting more cards in our deck. You know. Like, you can be 5-0 and they'll put you up against someone that's 7-2.
Versus Fireheart.
Well, so they don't care about the number of wins as much typically as... They do care about it, but it's not as important as, the, I think I'll replace that. Oh, it's... Oh. Screw it. I'll just keep this. I don't think they look at your MMR. It's a little funny. He's got the wrong hero power, but he's got the right treasures. Okay, we can take both of those. Those are both 1 mana. It's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Never be afraid of your inner power.
You have to read this one.
Hopefully he keeps the Voracious Reader alive.
Vaporization commencing.
But honestly, all he needs is a Lightning Storm and we're... oh. Yeah. Well, it was fun chat.
We hunger vengeance.
I should have. I don't know. I mean, if we can get to Locust, we're still in okay shape.
A charming composition.
I think this is okay to copy. Like, unless I get Locust on the next draw. Yeah, we'll just copy the dump tank.
Repeat that. Write that down.
Okay. I mean, the only difference is he drew his treasure. If we draw our treasure, I mean, we're still super in this game. We have to draw our treasure. And I made myself vulnerable that turn. Through poke up can't help. Blood Mage would be so huge. He was like 2 off lethal there.
My totems! My pretty totems!
Hey, he only gets the 1 cast of it.
Here's another test.
Maybe I should have just said.
Have much
Ooh.
time.
So yeah, I should have. If the next card is Locust, I should have. Okay, next card isn't Locust.
Here's another test.
Holy shit. Yeah, we gotta get more value in our starting hand. Jaws is probably better. Just because it can work against a Death Rattle Hunter. And it costs 1 mana. There's a good chance we won't last to see another treasure. Nope. Just a legit 4-minute wait.
Fireheart versus Willow.
I hope you don't mind. I'm winning this.
I actually
whole
think I
thing.
just ditch everything
Always
except the
have me
Feral
draw from
Spirit.
the researcher's afternoon snack.
See, that's like, people are just always gonna complain, and there's just like literally nothing you can do about it. People like RNG. They think they don't, but they do.
Here's another test. Here's another test.
Yeah, no, it was my idea for... Well, so I came up with the idea because, like, I realized so many people in my chat just hate deck building.
Muzzle their magic.
Foiled. Here's another test.
Wait, what? Why did I just see an air, like a ghost arrow?
Branded void.
Shall we make a storm?
Here's another test. Here's another test.
does have the kill mox, yeah. That's a problem.
Fire! Here's another test.
How many decks would they have to make? One for every combination? Yeah, 180 decks. But I was thinking that, like, what if it was just like the first week when out of an expansion, and then they could have like the AI figure out what the highest win rate decks are, and then use those instead. I'm pretty sure philosophy was on Killmox. Yeah, it's buffed by philosophy, so.
I know when I've lost.
If you just got it, it was from Whitefire X, Groot Shaw. So we may have hit our wall with this deck, unfortunately. It wasn't the totems that beat us, it was the
Fireheart versus Willow.
I hope you don't mind. I'm winning this whole thing.
You can always
The headmaster
withdraw
wouldn't
from the
let you
competition
research his
Professor.
afternoon snack.
Once upon a time.
damn it.
Could you repeat that? Write that down.
Here's another test.
Forbidden rituals, you say?
Here's another test.
But you notice how our deck has basically come down to, do we draw Locust or do we not draw Locust?
Muzzle their magic. Fire.
Here's another test.
I mean, we could also draw Polkelt. Polkelt, yeah.
A charming composition.
Why do you go?
Shall we make a storm?
Here's another test.
Here my friends.
I'll get right on.
Okay. Think we lose. Is there anything I could have done? I mean, so I could have just landslided.
The pit is turning.
There. Okay. Well, that looks like game. You want to say hi to everybody, Holly? Nope. All I had to do is discover 2 titles. Yeah. Oh.
Here's another test.
I could have taken 3 less damage, let's see, so... No, it didn't matter. But... Also, so Locust was like 2 turns too late. If I could have gotten a second void, that might have been it. But thank you guys all for watching this run. As you can see, Shaman starts off super powerful, and then it kind of hits a wall. But, it starts off super powerful, and if you get double time, or if you can draw a little bit luckier with the other treasures, you can get far. If you, again, watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment with any questions. Thanks for watching.